Ulkesh Naranek was the Vorlon Ambassador to Minbar and later replaced Kosh as Ambassador to Babylon 5 after his death. History. Creating the future. In 2245, Ulkesh and Kosh became the first two Vorlons to make official, if covert, contact with the Minbari since the end of the First Shadow War. Meeting Dukhat in secret, they were provided with specially adapted quarters aboard the Valentha, and their presence was known only to Dukhat himself and Anlashok Na Lenon, who told them both of the coming return of the Shadows and the importance of humans in the coming war. After Dukhat's death following the disastrous first contact with the Earth Alliance, the two Vorlons remained in secret, though they revealed themselves to Delenn and passed on to her a recording that was left in trust with them from Dukhat. By the end of the Earth-Minbari War in 2248, they were still aboard and present during the Battle of the Line. When Delenn asked them both for advice, Ulkesh appeared reticent, though Kosh told her, "The truth points to itself." When Delenn said that she didn't understand, Ulkesh told her that she wouldn't go. By 2259, Ulkesh was on Minbar acting as the Vorlon Ambassador, while Kosh filled a similar role on Babylon 5. When Commander Geoffrey Sinclair was assigned as the Earth Alliance Ambassador, he was instantly struck with how different Ulkesh was to Kosh, came to distrust Ulkesh, and wondered to himself which of them represented a typical Vorlon. While on Minbar, Ulkesh worked with Rathan and Chosen One, Genema, to develop the White Star-class warships for the Anlashok, and started first with a set of 3 prototype hybrid fighters. Later that year, after Ranger Catherine Sokai was lost in the Temporal Rift in Sector 14, an enraged Sinclair asked Ulkesh how much he really knew about what had happened to her and when in time that she had ended up. Ulkesh has responded simply, "It is irrelevant." In 2260, when Antilja Sinclair departed for Babylon 5, Ulkesh told Rathan, "He is the closed circle. He is returning to the beginning. We are all Kosh." After the death of Kosh in 2260, the Vorlon Empire sent Ulkesh to replace him as ambassador to Babylon 5. Despite their different encounter suits, the Vorlons intended Ulkesh, for all intents and purposes, to impersonate Kosh, and even went so far as to insist that the new ambassador be addressed as Kosh in public. Ulkesh even refused to tell Captain John Sheridan his name, and cryptically remarked that, "We are all Kosh." Ulkesh saw the silhouetted image of 2 shadows and Morden on the wall of Kosh's quarters, that was presumably burned there by Kosh's death. Ulkesh questioned Lita Alexander as to whether a piece of Kosh might still be alive, but she informed him that she was not present at his death and did not carry such a piece. Ulkesh later attended Sheridan's strategy session in the war room on using telepaths as weapons against the shadows. An unexpected door. Lita subsequently carried pieces of Ulkesh within her, although the experience was more painful than when she carried Kosh. After Sheridan's attack on Zahardam, Lita began to suspect that Ulkesh was hiding things from her. In early 2261, Ulkesh stopped attending meetings and failed to return Delenn's repeated calls. When Delenn approached Ulkesh for his help in mounting a rescue mission to search for Sheridan at Zahardam, he refused. Ulkesh cared nothing about Delenn's resulting lack of respect for him. Ulkesh responded condescendingly to Lita's demands for answers about the Vorlon's plans when she grew weary of Ulkesh's abusive use of her. When Lita attempted to telepathically scan Ulkesh, he telekinetically slammed her against a wall and apparently caused her great pain telepathically. Ulkesh refused Security Chief Michael Garibaldi's demand that he leave the station because of the Vorlon Empire's destruction of planets that were influenced by the shadows. Ulkesh used a force field to deflect the security team's PPG fire and a hypersonic pulse to shatter their oxygen masks, which forced them to exit his quarters. When Lita later informed Ulkesh that a piece of Kosh was indeed still alive inside a human, he demanded that she show him who imprisoned Kosh. Garibaldi's and Lita's actions were actually part of Sheridan's plan to kill Ulkesh so that he could no longer relay information about the plans of the younger races to the Vorlon homeworld. However, while Lita led him through a central corridor in Blue 24, Ulkesh became suspicious, and almost evaded the trap and electrical field that caused the head of his encounter suit to explode. The enraged Ulkesh exited his encounter suit and attacked Sheridan. However, the piece of Kosh that was inside Sheridan revealed itself and engaged Ulkesh in a fierce battle. The two combatants exited the station and entered Ulkesh's ship, which caused it to explode and apparently killed both Vorlons. Physical appearance. Ulkesh's encounter suit featured high, pointed shoulders, a swept back, dual-pointed head, and a darker, red-purple color. Ulkesh's eyepiece exhibited a single red point that flared when he was angered or when he exerted his telepathic or telekinetic abilities. When Ulkesh emerged from his encounter suit, he appeared as a non-humanoid diaphanous creature with tapering tendrils that ran the length of his elongated body, which had a slightly purplish white coloration.